the team stands currently this season and sort of previewing the rest of the season for you.
Good morning, everybody. I think we're staying where what I expected, what I was planning. I wish, and probably is wish of every coach to be undefeated, but we have a very few losses. The men's team is 19-6, and women's team is 21-6. And our goal right now, we have one more meet left. And after this meet, our goal is to qualify all 24, because this is the maximum number we can qualify, 24 athletes to our regionals. And then from the regionals, the maximum number, which is 12, we hope to qualify for the nationals. And then once we have the full squad, then anything is possible.
Coach, what's the biggest thing that's stuck out for you so far this season with your team?
The inconsistent performance by squads. One weekend our Serbia squad is doing very well, and the other weekend our EPES squad is doing very well. This is what bothers me. Always is my concern to get them perform exactly the same time all together.
Eduardo and Deanna, for both of you, how would you assess your individual performances so far this season, it being your senior year, both in the Sabre division? How would you assess your seasons thus far? You want to go first?
The season has been a little bit unusual for me just because I'm coming off of an injury and being sick, but so far so good. Last weekend, I had a winning record and only dropped 2 bouts, which was pretty good for me. And so really I'm just trying to roll back in it and just honestly trying to stay consistent in the little things, which is a little bit difficult, but at the same time, that's, what my coach expects of me, and that's what we've been working on every day in practice. So I think I'm doing very well. I just need to stay healthy and stay consistent, as well as, my squad is behind me and my team is behind me. So honestly, I'm feeling very optimistic for regionals and NCAAs.
I would like to add at this moment, they besides being on this lineup, first lineup, they both are captains of the team. So they have extra pressure, extra duties on them. They're doing very well.
So for me, the season has been a little bit challenging. The first competitions I wasn't able to compete, mainly on the second one because I had a loss in the family, so I had to retire from the competition. So I haven't seen so much action as I expected this year, and also this weekend I had an off day. But I'm always pushing myself to be better. And I'm never happy with my performances. Even I can beat everyone, and I will always find something I want to work on. So I feel like the team, especially the Sabre squad, we feel the same way. So we're always pushing forward to get better and better and better. So that thing just puts us apart from other teams. It's not just the Sabre squad; it's the whole Penn State team. We're always trying to get more and more and more. So I feel like that's been our season so far.
Eduardo, from your time away, was there anything that you kind of learned about things you can do better or anything like that when you had to mentally check out of competitions and such?
A loss is always gives you a reality check. And at the time, I kind of focused on, being there for the people that were the mostly affected. And I kind of not thought that much about the team, which, as captain, I cannot do that. So that gave me a very strong kind of lesson about leadership, because sometimes people want to take care about themselves before others, and as captain, I cannot do that. So it really showed me a lesson of how to be better as a leader and as a person.
I feel like NCAA fencing team is pretty rare, kind of looking countrywide. For both of the players, what opportunity has this been to kind of, continue your career in college after, being here for a number of years?
At least for me, it's been an amazing experience. I've been able to represent our team, in China and other places around the country. I've been able to travel to more national tournaments and represent Penn State. And honestly, fencing is usually, it is an individual sport, but being able to fence on an NCAA team is an amazing experience because you have so many people behind you. You're no longer fencing for yourself, you're fencing for your team and the history behind Penn State fencing. So it's an incredible experience, and it makes you work harder, and it makes you appreciate all the things that Coach Wes and Penn State has given us.
For me, before coming to Penn State, I was part of the Mexican national fencing team, which I'm still part of. And it's different. It's a different transition, but I feel like my goal for the future is to qualify for the Olympics. And Penn State fencing, which is such a powerful and strong program, it's really like helping me go towards that goal. Like I work with Coach Wes, and he's been one of the best coaches I've ever worked with. So it really helps to develop our goals because, like me, there's several people in the team that have the same dream. So we're just trying to push into that part outside of Penn State fencing as well.
Coach, for you, you talked about wanting the team to be a bit more consistent with all the squads doing very well at the same time. Is there anything in particular that you think could help that happen, or is it just a matter of everyone focusing in and performing well at the same time?
This is, working on this throughout the season. And you see if some squad underperform, then you try to find solution, okay? And I'm pretty much, by the end of the season, you get the recipe to make sure those people who qualified, you prepare them at the peak performance at the time when you want it.
For any of you, who are some of the other contenders come NCAA tournament time that stand out?
On our team?
On your team or elsewhere around the country?
As an individual, like people, or just like as teams?
Teams.
Definitely, I would say Notre Dame, Columbia, Ohio State. They're all pretty, hard teams. But at the same time, I think that, we've done really well against them this season. So I'm not really worried. But, people that we have to look out for are definitely Ohio, Notre Dame, Columbia, Princeton. Who am I missing, Lalo?
Harvard
This year, yeah. So there's a few out there, but just
we got this.
yeah.
Coach Wes, you've always had a focus on saber, but this past weekend your epee squad actually placed first in both the men's and women's. Can you talk kind of what was different this past weekend?
That's great because the epee team is very young. We got a lot of freshmen, and I am very happy to see how they growing throughout the season. They getting better and better from tournament to tournament. And yes, you're right. In the past, saber was our squad, which was traditionally the strongest. But now epee catch up with them, and now we will wait for the foil, and then we should be good right there where we want to be.
For all three of you, what is the goal of this team going into the final few events of the season?
My goal is always to win, and because I believe it, the second place is the first loser, and always striving to win. But if we are top 6 in the country, it's also a great performance. But like I said, our dream, and we work so hard for it, and our motivation is to be in the very, very top.
definitely for the team. I think Lalo can contest to this as well. That right now we're just focused on qualifying 12. That's the main goal right now. The more people that you have to qualify for NCAAs, the better. The bigger chance you have of winning NCAAs. So right now, I think we're just trying to keep the team motivated, keep the team mindful of our goal, and which is to qualify 12. So right now, I think that's our biggest, thing.
I mean, like Coach said, like Dee said, our goal is always to win, to
Mhm.
strive to be the best team in the country, which I believe we are. Now we just have to go out there and show it. So that's mainly the goal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.